Okay, guys, we are on live now. You know, I want to share with you today in the Pinini Halachot, we don't realize how much effect we have on our children. A lot of times you see some children are good, some children are well behaved, they're more closer, they're more connected to Hashem. And unfortunately, sometimes you see some children, they're not connected to Hashem. They're very far from Hashem. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. You think it's just one morning they woke up and they said, I'm not going to be Jewish, I'm not going to be religious. Do you guys have any idea who has the most impact on children and how they're going to behave?
The mother.
Huh?
The mother.
The mother. The father. And when he's with his wife, when they're making that child.
Producing.
Yesterday we started speaking about, let's be adults about it. Yesterday we started speaking about intercourse, correct? So we said whenever we want, we run, they never chase us, which is a very... Rabotai, I want to share with you today, it's not so simple. That's literally the Eitzah, that's literally the Atzada Yitzhar, that's literally the advice of the evil inclination. When you have that, you want to try to control it, because you want to try to break it. I just want to show you what he writes over here. I'm going to read it for you in English, not to make it, to save some time. He says in Hebrew, but I'll just read it in English right away. He says, our rabbis of blessed memory commend those who sanctify themselves during sexual relations, stating that they will merit having good children. If a person is kadosh, if a person sanctifies, this is why it's not only... You can't tell me right now that, I did a prohibition by sleeping with my wife without a blink. What did I do wrong? Did I sleep with a married woman? Did I eat not kosher? No, it's not that. There's laws of modesty. And one of the ways you have to sanctify yourself is by being covered. So that's what he says in Masechet Shavuot in Daf Yudchet Amud Bet, which is page 18, side 2. Over there they say that if you want to have good children, you need to sanctify yourself even during relations. Jugari, I don't know why you started to think right now, Jugari. He says, what does that mean? He says, this sanctity entails the couple concentrating solely on their wholehearted love for one another. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. The Shulchan Aruch brings down that a person should not be thinking about another woman when he's with his wife. Unfortunately, a guy came up to me and Rabotai, his wife is not fat, she's not ugly, she's put well, she's put together well. And he told me, Rabbi, he says, I'm not excited about her. If I'm not thinking about another girl, I'm not excited about her. Am I allowed to think about another girl? So that's going to allow me to be with my wife and perform better. Absolutely not. One is not allowed to do that. That one is not allowed to do. And we'll see what the result. That's why we have children, Chas v'Shalom, that are not close to Hashem. Because you have to understand, at the time when you did the act, what were you thinking? We'll see. There's 9 things you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't have a relation with your wife if you have these 9 things that we'll see right now. He says the greater their love and the greater their wish for good and righteous children, the holier their sexual union, through which they merit having such children.
Wait.
Through that they're going to merit having holy children. It all starts with the parents. He has to put himself on mute. Jigarik, there was a story, Rabbi Wolkin, his father of Shmuel David Wolkin, Zatal, he had a question. Somebody called him with a question. He said, Rabbi, my son is 22 years old and he wants to marry Christina. What do I do? The rabbi told him, why are you calling me now, 22 years later, when you should have called me in the beginning before you even got married? Meaning, before you had relations. Why you call me now? You can't fix a tree which is crooked. It's harder. You can, but it's much harder to do. So therefore, if a person wants to have holy children, if a person wants to have well-behaved children, he has to go out and he has to have basically love only for his wife and not for any other woman. He continues here and he says, in contrast, however, let's look the other way. The less love and devotion they have toward one another, the more flows their sexual union, and the greater the likelihood of imperfection within their children. So we're the ones that are planting, we're the ones that are seeding it. So It starts within us. The Talmud lists 9 types of flaws in marital sexual relations, as well as the resulting imperfection in children conceived through such unions. We're going to see 9 things. If you have this, it's better not to sleep with your wife if this is because of these reasons. I'll show you. So the first one, and by the way, there's also halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. The first one is B'nei Ema and Ubnei Anusa. The first one is children of fear or children of rape. If the woman, chas v'shalom rabotai, if the woman has relations with the husband because she's afraid of him, and a child is formed from that union, you should know this child is going to be a rebellious child. It's most likely he's going to be further away from Hashem, from the Torah. We'll see in the end, every child has the choice to be better, but it's that much harder. Right? Like they say, genetics, your genes pass down. The husband that threatens his wife, or he coerces her into having sexual relations, or the wife, I don't know, maybe you guys, I don't know how this works, or the wife forces her husband to have sexual relations with her with coercion or intimidation, then if a child is born from that union, it's bad. It's very bad. It's not, they're going to be children which are not perfect, meaning with imperfections. So we saw B'nei Ema and B'nei Anusa. Your wife shouldn't be afraid of you, and you shouldn't be afraid of your wife, meaning you shouldn't have relations while she's afraid of you or you're afraid of her, or you guys shouldn't force each other on one another. The next one, Rabotai, is very much applicable. A lot of times, husband and wife, they get into a fight. This is B'nei Sinu'ah, children of hate. We call them children of hate. The husband despises his wife and has relations with her only to satisfy his urges. Or the wife despises her husband and has relations with him only to satisfy her urges. If a child is formed from that union, you should know this child is called the child of hate. He's a child that's going to be very far away from Hashem. That's why, by the way, the Mishnah in the Shulchan Aruch, he brings down, you have to first appease her, you have to first pacify her. Not that you're not allowed to have relations when you are, when you have fights or when you're angry towards one another. Okay, you can fight, people fight. But when you want to be together, make sure you guys have no hatred towards one another. Rabotai, number 3, B'nei Nidui. Now this one is a little bit hard, but children of excommunication. So I'll just tell you, what does it mean, children of excommunication? You know, sometimes if you have Jigari, let's take Reuven and Shimon, right? Reuven owes Shimon money. He doesn't want to pay him. He goes to Bedin, he goes to the Jewish court, and the rabbis say, you have to pay Shimon. Reuven says, I want nothing to do with you rabbis. I'm not listening to a word. So what do the rabbis do? They excommunicate him. You can daven with him, you can answer to his brachot, you can add him to the minyan, you can marry his children. Even the wife, where she's allowed to have relations with him, but if she's going to have relations with him, what's going to end up happening? That child is going to be called the child of excommunication. So this another form of character that if a woman has relations with her husband that's excommunicated, that's going to go ahead and it's going to take away from the child's sanctity to be able to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, number 4, unfortunately, a lot of people do this, and it's a grave sin. B'nei Timurah. Jigarik, you know what means B'nei Timurah? Children of exchange. Can you tell me what that means? This one is very much practical. Ron, do you have any idea? Say it again.
You're on mute, Ron. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what children of exchange.
Excuse me. So he says over here, Shuba'el et ishto v'choshev al ish acheret, or shehi choshevet al ish acher. If a person goes ahead and he has relations with his wife, but he's thinking about another woman, or she has relations with her husband and she's thinking about another guy, you should know if from that union, if a child is born, the child is going to be the child of exchange. It's going to be much harder for him to connect to Hashem. So we see.
Born black. Rabbi, question for you though.
Go ahead.
Is there a way for us to know? Because look, I mean, we all have kids growing up, right? We want our kids to marry off to the right, How would we know if the other whether it's the domot or the kelim, is a child of that product, right? It's a product of that thought process. We all messed up. I mean, it's yeah. I agree.
So I'll tell like this: the Rav Chaim says, if you really want to bring, how can I put it? If you really want to bring holy children into the world, you want to try to be with your wife after midnight, meaning like after halachic midnight, which is like around 12:50, 1 o'clock, which a lot of people don't actually do. You're not obligated to sleep after midnight with her, but if you really want to bring holy children down, you want to try to do it after midnight of the Jewish midnight, which is like around 12:50, like 1 o'clock. And also you have to respect your wife very much. People love Shalom Bayit classes, correct? Rabbi, we need Shalom Bayit class. Rabbi, we need Shalom Bayit class. I want to ask you guys a question. If you have a person that takes care of you, feeds you, brings children to the world, takes care of them, frees you up from that burden, you need to tell me that I have to go and respect my wife. That in itself, one should go and respect. From that alone, that should be enough for us to understand how grateful we have to be towards our spouses. That alone. That when you're like that, when you're always giving to your wife, you're able to bring good children to the world. You understand? Not like unfortunately what we see today. So to answer your question, you got it. Through other people, you're never going to see. It's only through their midot, through their character traits. See if they get angry. See if they're stingy. You understand? See how close. Do they come and daven early in the morning? Or they walk into the synagogue 9 o'clock thinking they're doing God a favor? Do they learn Torah day, meaning in the morning and in the night? How do they curse, chas v'shalom, How do they spend? How do they spend money? I had a friend, my friend's wife, she went out with a guy one time, and she went with a guy, whatever, it was nice, the whole date was nice. So whatever, the waiter brought them the change back, and the guy says, keep the change. So she's like, wow, he's very, very giving, very, how do you say it, very open with his pocket. So then the lady, she took all the change, and he tells her, no, I said the change. Get it? The change. Then she didn't go out with him, but you have to watch. You have to watch it. The Gemara tells us, kiso, ka'aso, and koso. How he drinks, his pocket, how he spends money, and his anger. See how he gets angry.
Rabbi, can I ask a few questions?
Say it again.
Can I ask a few questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're saying that if you met any of these conditions when sleeping with your wife or whatever, and now the child went about, how does that relate to us as individuals? Any one of us could be a product of our parents that may have not been religious. Most of us came from communism, right? And the parents were not religious. So, but what about this idea of Yeshua? What about the idea of tikkun and correcting oneself?
Correct. So
you're saying to me as a parent, how about I'm the child?
Right. So he says later on that even though that if it could have been any one of us, nevertheless, he says everybody has free choice, and you are able to change it. The only thing is going to be wrong is going to be much harder. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be much harder to come closer to Hashem. Like you're always going to find reasons why you don't want to do something. You don't know like why. Well, why is it hard for me to do it? Why is it easier for him to do it and harder for me to do it? Why does he learn Torah and I can't learn Torah? I mean, I want to, but why can't I just go and do it? Why when he davens, he understands, like he's more connected to God, but I just don't know when I'm going to come out of the synagogue. So unfortunately, what the parents gave, like genetics, it passes down. And again, you can change it, like you just said, you have free will, but it's going to be that much harder to do it. That means you have to work basically double the amount that a regular person would have to work.
I came from all the way from the mountain, so my father didn't do something
right. Now, so that was children of exchange. The next one is Bnei Miriva, children of strife. If the couple's in the middle of an argument and they have sexual relations before making up, their quarrel does not permit them to forgo their onah. They have to be with one another. Nevertheless, they have a duty to make up before having sexual relations. Because if not, if a child is born from that union, or even if the wife is pregnant during the 9 months, you are planting that into the child. Because the last 6 months is very healthy to be with your wife because it gives all the things that a child needs. You got it. You shouldn't be sleeping in the last 6 months. You got it.
Just working.
בשעה טובה, ג'מאל בזמן, בשעה טובה. חג סלומות.
Rabotai, the next one, number 6, B'nei Shchirut, a very big problem. This one is a very big problem. We see it, children of drunkenness. Right? He says, if a couple has relations while one of them is drunk, their union lacks the complete focus on their love and unity. If a child is born from this union, you should know this child is going to be disconnected from coming close to Hashem. So I want to just show you, it's not about, okay, Rabbi, I want to go be with my wife, I'm going to jump on my wife. No, you have to be in the right state of mind. You want to be able to do that for her because you want to show how much you love her. Not like an animal, okay, I'm going to go and fulfill my desires. That's not what you want to do.
Little liquor is going to loose you up.
No, I didn't say the little liquor. I said being drunk. I didn't tell you liquor. Okay, drink liquor. Give her liquor, do whatever you have to do. But I'm saying a person has to be very careful not to become drunk. Rabotai, the next one, B'nei Girushat Alev, children of divorce. What does that mean? When one of the couple wants to divorce, how many times do you have this? How many people hate living with one another? You have marriage that they can't stand each other. They want to get divorced, but why do they stay together, Ephraim? Because of their children, correct? That's what they say. Because they know that they're destroying the children, but whatever it is, let's leave that alone. So he says over here, even when one of the couple wants to divorce, even if they still have love for each other, their union is incomplete. So if say the husband wants to divorce his wife, and what does he do? And he goes to have relations. If a child is born from that union, you should know again this child has imperfections and he's not a very holy child. Yes? Number 8.
Rabbi, can one of those children then become a big tzaddik?
For sure. You have the choice. You got it. Like I said, everybody has free choice. Everybody can change it, but it's only that much harder. Now that's what I tried to explain to you before. The Rav Chaim brings down the Zohar. Why do you want to be able, say for example, if you know your wife is after the mikvah night, for example, and you know she's ovulating, that's the best time she's going to become pregnant. You want to try to go ahead and sleep after chatzot. Because that's the time when Hashem has the mercy, and that's where all the good neshamot, all the good souls come down. So if you're able to pregnant her then, it'll be much easier to raise that child in Avodat Hashem. Much easier. You're not going to have to worry on kurit, on piot, on snake speed, on overdose, suicide. But you don't have to worry about these things. You don't have to worry about these things. Yeah, unfortunately, but if not, then the parents, look what the parents have to go through, unfortunately. It says in the Chumash, it says, Poked avon alabanim. It says that Hashem is going to deposit the sins on the children. That if the father does something wrong, for example, let's say the father wanted to have a 2-minute good time with a girl, I don't know, chas v'shalom. He said, what I do, nothing, I had a good time. No problem. Hashem can forgive you. But Rashi says Hashem is not going to completely forgive you. What he's going to do? He's going to pay you back, meaning he's going to punish you little by little. On who you got it? On the children, chas v'shalom. That's what it says in the Torah. Up to which generation? Up to the 3rd and 4th generation. Can you imagine? A father, son, grandchild, great-great-child. So that's 4 generations that sin can continue down. So whenever we're doing something, we have to understand that we're also affecting our lineage, our family that's going to follow after us. But the Gemara says, one second, I don't understand. There's another pasuk in the Torah that says that the children should not die because of their parents. So it's a contradiction. A second ago it says you're going to punish the children because of their parents, and now you're telling the children are not going to die because of their parents. So the Gemara Masech Berachot on page 7, side 1 answers. He says, if the children continue in the ways of the father, then the sin comes down. But if the children, meaning they don't continue, they are Torah observant Jews, they don't continue the ways of the father, then the sins of the father cannot go down, you understand? So everyone has an opportunity to become better and do better. You can't go in the footsteps of your parents. Samnoj, you got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Question for you. Would it be all 4 generations or one of the 4 generations?
No, up to 4. He could be up to 4. But you know what? You know what Rashi says? There's something beautiful. He says, noter chesed la'alafim. But if a person does one chesed, one kindness before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says for thousands of generations. For 2,000 generations, I'm going to hold that good that you did, and it's going to protect your children. Can you imagine? What does it mean to do mitzvot? What does it mean to go in the ways of Hashem? What does it mean to actually do good? Be good people and, do good. Now, the next one, Rabotai, Michael, I don't know if people can relate to this one. I mean, maybe everybody can relate to this one.
That's the prayer. In Hashem's mercy.
Right. Correct.
2,000 generations.
Correct. I want to ask you guys a question. Is a wife allowed to demand relations from her husband? Yes, we start speaking about she can get dressed. She can put on lingerie, she can put on perfume, she can make him lipstick. And by the way, just as a side point, the biggest problem today is that a woman outside of the house, she looks the next top model. Inside the house, she looks the next top grandmother. What's going on? She's dressed like a shmata. What's doing? The guy comes to me, he's like, Rabbi, I can't be with her. I said, why not? Look the way she dressed at home. She puts on a shmata. So he said, what do you want me to do? You want me to take care of 10 children? So you want me to look good for you? I agree that, fine, they have to. Okay, I agree. But at least when you go into the bedroom, make yourself attractive. What do you want me to do? Imagine a guy walks into the bed, stain over here, dirty beard, no brushed teeth. I don't know. She's not going to also want. A woman has to understand, don't just dress up for the outside world, which they claim that it's for themselves, which is fine. They have to look beautiful, let them be beautiful. I don't care. But when you come home, make sure that beauty continues into the house. Make sure when your husband comes home with a smile, every other guy in the street, smile. You believe their smile goes from here to what's it? No. I remember Julia Roberts from here to here. When she comes home, what's this, Rabotai? And then we want to know why we have all these problems, chas v'shalom. Anyway, what do you want to say? Somebody want to say something? No. So guys, I want to ask you guys, I want to ask you a question. Is a woman allowed to demand relations?
Yes.
Who said yes?
I would think yes, yeah.
Jack said
it's
yes.
encouraged.
Chas v'shalom, Jack, don't ever say that.
Okay, it's encouraged.
So she can initiate it. She can do things that is going to get you going. But she shouldn't say it with her mouth. Why? Because that's the next thing, Rabotai. Let me see right here 1 second.
What does the Ketubah say? The Ketubah essentially is a guarantee for her to receive compensation. What kind of compensation?
Compensation. What's the compensation?
I divorced, so I had to sign the Ketubah. It said that she gets $200,000.
You put $100,000?
No, Rabbi DeVito put $200,000.
$200,000?
Yeah.
No, it's good.
If she said you're gonna give it to me, it's either that or 200. So yeah, I'm giving it to her. I said, man, I'll want the rest.
Ron, 200 is cheap.
No, I'll tell you why I'm laughing. I'm telling you why I'm laughing. Somebody was getting married and the rabbi was doing the kiddushin, you hear? So he said to me, Rabbi, how much should I put on the kiddushin? I said, you got to put enough for a whole year's worth. I don't know how much is, at least 100,000. He said, what? I want to put 10,000, the guy told me. Said, you don't put 10,000 on the marriage. Come on, it's your wife, but you don't put 10,000. Another wedding I went to, this was something. The rabbi says, Khatan, $5 million. I said, what? Did I hear myself correctly? That gives her a reason to leave him. $5 million, that's a lot of money. Anyway, hopefully they'll stay together. Anyway, very nice guy, by the way.
Hopefully they'll stay together.
Say it again?
I'm just repeating what you said. Okay, so yeah, can't you demand?
So here, they're called children of chutzpah. They're called children of brazenness. So he says, when a woman demands relations from her husband in a brazen, coarse, or foul-mouthed manner, or a husband from his wife, such a union contains no love, only that of satisfying their lust. The Gemara says, one second, you got it. The Gemara says, if you want to have children like Moshe Rabbeinu, the woman shouldn't, you shouldn't be the one coming on her. She shouldn't say anything, but she should do things that you want to going to be with her. Through her action, not through her speech.
Like what? What should she do?
I don't got to tell you. As you got it, he'll tell you. Man, what is this? What should she do? If I'm, what should she do? She'd say, okay, go ahead. What do you want to say? You got it.
No, I think you answered it, but the question I'm asking for a friend over here that's sitting right across from me. This question was very simple.
Ruben, you have a lot of friends, bro. With a lot of questions.
I have a lot of friends. Is dirty talk not allowed? Is that what we're saying?
So when you say dirty talk, are you saying like F word? What are you saying? Like curse, foul language?
Playing, dirty talk,
Foreplay, you can do.
I'm curious about all of this.
No, so you can't curse. You can't curse. Remember, you can curse. You can have foreplay. You can do it in a nice way. I mean, you could use other languages, but not no curse words. No curse words.
Ruben, she has to say papi, papacito.
Right. The
Yeah.
first words makes it exciting.
And so the papacito.
Say it again.
That's also very exciting, bro.
Say it again.
My wife is Puerto Rican, I know.
Okay, Rabotai, I want to show the Gemara in Masechet Kala adds another one. It says, Gam b'nei yishana. There's also children of sleeping. What does that mean? Shu be'elet ishto be'et yishana. She'en bi'yichodam hava hadadit. Rabotai, you have to understand, this is a very big problem. It's another problem over here. When you come home, whatever it is, you see your wife is sleeping, you can't just go on top of her and have relations with her. That you shouldn't do. And you have to wake up a little bit. There's two problems with this. Number one is, you have to make sure she's not you have to make sure that she's not bleeding. Maybe she's in either. How do you know what she is? So you shouldn't, at least she should be awake a little bit, understanding that, that it's her, that, she, what's going to happen. So we see from over here, he tells you all these children that are formed from these unions are going to have a very difficult time to be able to connect to Hashem. Is it impossible? No, it's possible. It's just going to be harder. So that's why, guys, it's very important that we show our women that respect. We show them that we love them. We have to cherish them. The more you do it, the better children you're going to have. The easier it's going to be for you to raise them tomorrow. There's no reason to fight with women. I don't know. You're never going to win, Jigadik. I don't know what's the point. One guy told me, Rabbi, I won. Like, yeah, what'd you do? He's like, I got divorced. I go, idiot. What am I going to tell you? Listen. Anyway, boys, if you guys have any questions, we'll take it. If not, I'll see you guys on Monday, B'ezrat Hashem.
Yesterday was 45-minute session. How about you?
I understand. I just got
Rabbi was sweating yesterday. I was going to call you to see if you needed some water after the session.
No, I'm good.
Rabbi, thank you so much. I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow there is no class. However, what we try to take on for tomorrow is try to invite people to the group. Ron, thank you so much. I know you invited 2 people, so I hope that they will be able to start joining us on Monday. But everyone, if you could, whoever you can think of, send me their phone number. That's all I need, and I'll be able to add them to the phone.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great day.
Boys,
Thanks,
have
guys.
a great day.
Shalom, guys.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Bye.
Ruben.